The bags that I've actually already ticked off my 2020 luxury wish list are the following. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today is actually going to be a wish list update video. So I already filmed my wish list video. I posted it early on in the beginning of the year in 2020. So I'm going to link that down below, but I am going to update it. Like, I've kind of taken some items off, moved some around and added some and that sort of thing. So I just thought, you know, I'll just take you along for the journey. Because I'm doing a luxury wish list video, I felt that it is only fair to sort of put a slight disclaimer and to say, like, obviously this wish list is just a wish list. Doesn't mean that everything is going to eventuate, and what is going on in the current world, like in our current world, in our current climate, our economic climate, everything that is happening, the very likeliness of everything in my wish list being fulfilled is extremely slim, so slim. But the reason I do these wish lists is in order to keep me sort of focused. I refer back to them and I kind of make myself accountable for, like, when I'm saving money for what item I'm going to go for. Like, even now I get distracted by things, but then I think back to my wish list. I'm like, what did I really want on this wish list? What is the main priority? That kind of stuff. So that's why I have a wish list, and that's why I'm making myself accountable by filming this video and updating you guys on what my wish list is. I'm sorry that this is a long-winded intro. I just wanted to obviously highlight what is going on. Please don't take this as an insensitive thing where I'm like telling you all these things I want to buy. It's just making me more accountable to stay focused on my wish list, stay true to the content on my channel, which is a luxury channel. It is a luxury channel, but also highlight that quite obviously what is going on in the world, I'm quite aware of it. It does affect what will transpire, as opposed to, like, you know, with this wish list. By the time I upload this video, I probably already have given birth, and it is quite scary times for me as a mother with a young daughter and then a newborn and that sort of thing. So that's been addressed, that's out of the way. I think that if you guys have watched me for quite some time, you would know that my personality is always obviously quite very caring. I'm very honest and transparent on my channel, and I don't hide anything. So this is why I'm updating you on my wish list, because I am honest and transparent and I tell you guys everything when it comes to luxury. Okay, so first and foremost, if you aren't already subscribed to this channel and this long-winded intro didn't put you off, then I would love if you would hit that subscribe button below, and also the bell so you can be notified when I upload new videos, which is twice a week on a Wednesday and on a weekend. So let's start off with handbags, and I'm going to show you guys the bags that I've actually already ticked off my 2020 luxury wish list. So we'll start off with the Louis Vuitton multi-pochette accessoire. Absolutely love this bag. Yeah, I'm really actually quite happy that I ended up buying it. I didn't jump on the bandwagon at the start. I remember saying that I wasn't going to buy this bag because it was being shoved down our throats, being gifted to influencers, and it put me off. But I really did like what the bag offered, and I didn't own the mini pochette yet when I got this bag, like when I had ordered this bag. I don't own the pochette accessoire. I do have now a mini pochette in the Christmas print, but this is different. Like, the mini pochette is a catch-all, but this is big enough to actually hold a phone, so this is fine as an actual bag on itself, whereas the mini pochette in the normal size, I can't fit a phone in there. So I feel as though if you already have the mini pochette and you want the pochette accessoire and you don't have the large pochette accessoire, then I would say that just because you've already got the mini pochette, don't write off buying this, because this functions just like the pochette accessoire does, except, you know, obviously it's smaller, but it can fit a phone, and that's what's so awesome about it. I didn't have the round coin purse, so yeah, and that's what I mean. Like, there are so many things in this bag that offer me versatility and functionality, and then the strap is super cool. I love it. So if this bag happens to, you know, the whole utility thing with the multi-bags goes out of fashion, I'm not worried, because I like these pieces individually. I often use these pieces individually anyway. Maybe not so much the round coin purse. I'm not the biggest fan of a round coin purse. Find it a bit bulky. And then the next bag that I ticked off was the mini Ruly in Berenia. This was on my wish list because I knew that I had ordered it. I had wanted a mini Ruly in Berenia for so long now, because I love Berenia leather. It's a heritage leather from Hermes. This is in the Faubourg, which technically is not the original Berenia heritage leather, because the Faubourg is a newer created version of Berenia. But yeah, this was a wishlist bag. I had ordered it with my boutique. Luckily enough, the order was approved by France, and then it arrived at the very beginning of this year. So this one I'm very, very happy with. I'm glad that I have that in my collection. And then the other bag that I picked up that was on my luxury wish list for 2020 that I've now ticked off is the Senreve Mini Maestra in Mimosa Blanc. I had said on my wish list that I wanted either Blanc, pebbled cream, or ice. And this I managed to pick up in the handbag revival sale, so it was already discounted. It was discounted, and if I had actually, the thing is I actually used my credits, my Senreve credits that I had with them for being an affiliate. So I was able to actually redeem the credits to get this, but I still was redeeming it at the price of the handbag revival sale. So this wasn't a brand new bag. However, for anyone who actually did buy in the handbag revival sale, it was a saving of up to 25%, and then you could still use my code Purseonfleek50 to get another $50 off. So I know that there was quite a lot of you that really took advantage of it. I definitely was prepared to pay for this, but then at the time that they were doing the handbag revival sale, the Australian dollar had dropped to like 50 cents to the $1 USD. So there was no saving for me whatsoever. It was like terrible, terrible. And it just happened to be lucky that I had accumulated just enough credits to be able to redeem to get this bag. So otherwise I wouldn't have been able to tick it off my wish list because the US dollar to the Australian dollar was so terrible. The bags I'm actually going to add to my 2020 luxury wish list. And like I said, just because I'm adding them doesn't mean that this is going to happen this year. The likeliness of these bags getting ticked off is extremely unlikely, but you know, making myself accountable here. So I'm adding on the Louis Vuitton Cans reverse bag. So the Cans vanity bag, I actually did have this. I had bought it December 2018. It was supposed to be a Christmas present to myself. But then what happened is I got the phone call just like a week after Christmas. So it was pretty much like the 2nd of January, and I hadn't had the opportunity to use the Louis Vuitton Cans bag yet. And it was from my Hermes boutique saying that they had a bag for me. And it was my Birkin 30 in a tube. So it was kind of like, well, I can't just keep the Louis Vuitton Cans vanity and then go ahead and go and buy this Birkin 30 in a tube because they're crazy expensive. The price increase just happened. So I ended up unfortunately sending the Louis Vuitton Cans bag back to Louis Vuitton online store, and they gave me a refund for it. But I missed that bag. I do like that bag. I have ummed and ahed about adding it back because it's quite expensive for what it is. It's a small bag. It does fit a lot, but it's quite pricey for what it is. And it's gone through now a couple of price increases, which is annoying. So I'm adding it back to the wish list, but ideally I want to try and pick it up pre-loved for less than what it's selling for. The other bag that I am adding on to my wish list is the Senreve Midi Maestra. So I want the size up from this. I want the midi one. And what I'm thinking of with being the midi size is that I could probably use it as like a baby bag as well. Generally I have like a nappy bag that I use. So I was just thinking that on times where I want to have, you know, a baby bag that fits everything and I don't want to carry like a handbag as well. So I kind of use it a bit like a tote bag, like a bigger tote bag that'll fit my things and then the baby things. Because a nappy bag generally just has like the baby stuff in it, and then I would always carry another handbag with me. But I'm thinking that the Senreve midi size of the Maestra should be able to fit my things and the baby things in as well. I'm not sure about the color yet. I'm thinking maybe in black so it's carefree. Otherwise also the color Storm, which is like a dark gray. So something on the darker side I would go for, not like a light color. It would be on the darker side because it's going to obviously be a baby bag. So that's that for the bags that I'm adding on that are not Hermes. So the other bags I'm adding on to my 2020 luxury wish list are all Hermes. And let's start off with the Pinkerton 18 or the Pinkerton 22. This was actually on the maybe of my 2020 luxury wish list, but I'm now moving it into the firm category that I definitely do want to get a Pinkerton 18 or a 22. And then I did see before on the European website they did Rose Azalea and I think it was Sesame, a combination of Rose Azalea and Sesame. I'll put pictures up on the screen what I'm talking about, but I missed out on that. I would have totally loved to buy that, but it was already sold. What I do want to add is a Bolide 27 bag. And I think I would probably go for a vintage one, maybe like in box calf or like pew pork. Don't know how to say it. It's like there's like literally leather that's pork, or Courchevel, which is the original Epsom kind of version, or Chamonix or something. Maybe like a hair. I kind of want to go for like a vintage leather or a heritage leather for a Bolide 27. The other Hermes bag I have here is their Her bag. and I want it in the Pegasus print. So there is a limited edition to her bag 31, and it's got the Pegasus print on the front. That is the only kind of her bag style that I would like to get. And then the last Hermes bag that I'm adding to my wish list that I surely do want to get is a Kelly 32. I want a Kelly 32 in the Vuitton, not in the Cellier, because it is going to look bigger in the Cellier, and I kind of want something to use as a shoulder bag. Pretty much I want to kind of use this as like a tote bag, because I'm not the biggest fan of actual traditional tote bags. So it'll be kind of like how the Senreve Midi Maestra would be, except the Senreve Midi Maestra is going to be a lot bigger than the Kelly 32. Yeah, I do want to get a Kelly 32 and use that as like my tote bag, because I just know I don't really love tote bags, but I need one. So I feel like maybe the Kelly 32 can do that job. I'll definitely go pre-loved, because the Kelly 32 brand new is about 16,800 Australian dollars if you get one brand new, and they do not hold their value because big bags are not in. Like, they're coming back, but the Kelly 32, Birkin 35, they're just not desirable right now. And everything else that I have still on that's firm on the list, I'll run through these quickly. They were on the 2020 wish list already, and they are still staying on the wish list. And that's the Chanel Classic Flap. I want it in the jumbo or the maxi in the vintage one, so that's with the 24 karat gold plated hardware. Still want that. I still want either a mini Kelly in the black box vintage, or a Kelly 25 or a Kelly 28 in a black box vintage. It doesn't necessarily have to be vintage, but it more than likely will be vintage. Mini Kelly would have to be vintage because I want the old style mini Kelly, but Kelly 25, Kelly 28 doesn't necessarily have to be vintage. The Hermes Kelly 25 or Kelly 28 or Birkin 25 in a neutral color, so that's essentially just a one-liner sort of item there. That's still staying on the wish list. Ideally, I'd like to be able to get one of those specs from the boutique. And then the other items that are still staying on the wish list is the Hermes Mini Lindy. I still really want that. I probably will end up buying that if it becomes available online. I have seen it pop up online, but I keep missing out. I've seen it available on the Australian store in Gris Pearl. I've seen it available in jaune amber. I've seen it available in a red, but I didn't want the red. So I have seen it pop up. The maybe items that I have now is the Louis Vuitton Mini HL Speedy, the vintage one. I had that firm on the wish list. I now am moving that over to the maybe category just for practicality reasons. It's a very small bag. I do like it, but I need to at least be realistic here. I don't want to be getting distracted by buying other things that aren't don't make my heart sing as much as the ones that I put firm on the wish list. The Chanel Grey Classic Flap, that's going into the maybe. It's something I definitely do want eventually, but it's just definitely not going to be happening this year in 2020 unless some crazy deal comes up. The Louis Vuitton On The Go MM, moving that into the maybe category now. The Louis Vuitton had another price increase a couple months ago, and I'm not happy with now paying that kind of price for it. Like, I might still end up getting it if I decide not to get a Kelly 32 or it's not working as like a tote bag, so we'll see. The Chanel Vanity Vintage bag, I wanted a vintage one in like black or pink. I did have one before, ended up selling it because I think that something happened. I ended up selling it to fund something else, but I made a profit on it anyway because I had added the pearl strap on it anyways. The Chanel 1919 bag in the small size or the medium, that's in the maybe, and it was in the maybe. I think it was actually, it might have been, I'm not sure if I put in the maybe before. Yeah, I did. I put it in the maybe category before, and it's still staying in the maybe category. It's just the pricing that puts me off. It's just crazy expensive. The Chanel 19 Iridescent Pink bag, I think that was in the maybe category before of my 2020 wish list, and it's still staying in the maybe category. I do want one, but again, pricing is bothering me because you're having to pay a premium for it because it was a very desirable iridescent pink. And then the Chanel Vanity case, I wanted one in a contrasting color like beige black, and that is staying in the maybe category. It was in the maybe category for the wish list video, and it's staying in there. Just putting it on the back burner because it's not a priority right now, but I do really like that bag. Now I'm actually completely removing from my luxury wish list the trunk pochette vertical from Louis Vuitton. It was in the maybe category. I'm now scrapping it because of the price increase, and for the size of the bag, it is not worth it. The Locky BB, it was again in the maybe category, and for same reasons, because of the price increase, I am scrapping it. And I've had that bag before, but it had a fault with it. There was like a little hole in the leather, so I sent it back to Louis Vuitton for a refund because I'm like, I'm not taking a faulty bag and paying that kind of price for it. So I did experience it kind of already, like, you know, felt it, that sort of thing. And the lock is a little bit off-weighted with the canvas. I feel like it's a bit too heavy. And then the Fendi Peekaboo. This was firm on the wish list for 2020, but I'm now completely removing it. I had the Fendi Peekaboo or the baguette on the wish list, but I'm taking it off completely. I just don't think it's the right, like, I like the bag, but I just don't think it really like appeals to me, like in brand wise. I'm just not really on the Fendi train with their handbag. Could go back on the wish list next year or something like that, because I do like the peekaboo style, and I do kind of like, I do like the baguette, but yeah, just no, I'm just taking it off because it's not enough. None of it is enough to make my heart sing for me to put it on a wish list or even put it on the maybe pile. So now for jewelry, I'm adding to my luxury wish list for jewelry the Hermes Gambade H ring. I'll put a picture on the screen. The Click H in a rose color, and then I also want the Hermes loop earrings. There is an official name for it, but I know I'm just going to butcher it. And they've got like a leather bit on the earring. They're really quite nice, so I'm adding those to the wish list. And what's still firm on the wish list for jewelry is the Hermes Kelly Dog in an exotic leather in a pink, or a Collier de Chêne in the exotic leather in the pink. The Van Cleef and Arpels small Alhambra earrings, that's staying on the wish list. The Chanel vintage oversized earrings, still want those. Or the Chanel pearl medallion earrings. For accessories and ready to wear, I'm adding on either a Chanel or a Louis Vuitton card holder. Can be pre-loved, that's totally fine. The Chanel chain belt, I want one of those in vintage. I do have a budget for it though. I don't want to spend over $600 Australian because it will be vintage. The Hermes Rodeo in Cray and Blue Glacier, I want both of them. So there's a current combination out at the moment with Cray, I think it's Craft or Sesame, and then maybe Cornerline. Now what's still on the list for this category is the Hermes Rodeo in full rose azaleine. I still want to get obviously luxury ready to wear, whatever sort of appeals to me. I usually go pre-loved because I want to try and save money on ready to wear because they don't hold value. So Chanel, Dior, Louis Vuitton, just depends what kind of pops up in the pre-loved market. I tend to look at Rakuten Global Marketplace, and I also look at Vestiaire Collective. Also staying on the wish list is the Dior blanket shawl, or the Louis Vuitton Ray Kajovic scarf, however you say it. And a Chanel oversized brooch. Now, the Chanel oversized brooches are harder to come by, like the real big chunky ones. So actually, I've already ticked off for the 2020 luxury wish list for accessories and ready to wear. I've ticked off that I already got the Hermes Ruru charm. I ended up selling it because I mean, I liked it, but I felt like it was too big on my Kelly 25 and I could only use it on my Birkin 30. I also already got the Dior bucket hat, and I've already got some ready to wear pieces. So luxury ready to wear pieces that are pre-loved. And I'm removing from my 2020 wish list for accessories the Louis Vuitton pink Vivienne charm. For the price of it, I think it's like $700 Australian. It's just too much for a charm that I probably wouldn't even use on my Hermes bag. For luxury shoes, I have already ticked off, so I'll start off with the items I ticked off this time. The Gucci Princetown Mule. Absolutely totally love the Princetowns anyway. They're so comfortable. I got these from Matches Fashion. I got them 15% off because I had a friend referral code. I will put my code down below. I think someone had trouble using it because it was linked to my different email. So if you do want to use my referral code, just DM me on Facebook Messenger. Purseonfleek is my Facebook page, or my Instagram, and I will give you my full name that you can insert for when you want to redeem the code. I've also already ticked off, so the Hermes Iran in gold. Totally love the Irans and love the color gold. I can't believe I waited so long to actually get them in gold. They match my Ruly too, which kind of is nice. I'm actually adding on, I want another pair of the Chanel ugly sandals. Let me just go and get the ones that I have. So I want another pair of these kind of sandals from Chanel. I know that they're not for everyone. They are pretty ugly and they're essentially just a glorified Birkenstock really, but they're so comfortable. These have been such a godsend in my pregnancy because they really help my feet. They don't cause my feet to feel pain and discomfort. I bought these through Buyma, which is a personal shopping website. So I do want another one of these, preferably in leather or fabric. The Chanel leather sandals from Cruise 2019 that say Chanel, and they've got a little cork heel. Adding those onto the wish list, however, they are going to be hard to get. I probably have to get them pre-loved. Chanel ballet flats or rock stud flats is what I want to get as well. Either or, I don't need two pairs of ballet flats right now. Now for maybe for shoes, I'm thinking the Louis Vuitton Sunbath Mules in khaki. They're only a new sort of release item. Like, I like them because I like that kind of like that ugly sandal. They're probably very, very, very comfortable, but they're just not as nice looking as the Chanel ones. So that's all that I have for my update with my 2020 luxury wish list. Be sure to watch the previous luxury wish list video that I uploaded at the start of the year, so you can get a kind of running flow of, you know, what I've sort of updated on the wish list. Enough said. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, and I will see you guys in my next one. Bye.